Hey Elasticians, welcome back. The topic today is enabling slow logs on a single index using Kibana DevTools. On screen, you'll see the official Elastic documentation for slow log settings, and this is the documentation we'll be following for the duration of this video. Let's start by talking a little bit about why slow logs are beneficial. Slow logs are for when you aren't present for a problem but want to be able to find it. Slow logs record database searching and index events that trigger durations above specific thresholds. We'll see this a little bit more in depth when we actually set these specific thresholds in DevTools in just a bit. A few reasons to use slow logs are to track down mystery tasks, unexpected searches, and other problems that simply aren't happening live. It's important to note that slow logs generally answer shard and index level down, so won't incorporate the wrapping networking, coordinating, or queuing times. A specific example noted in the documentation is that slow logs will not surface HTTP network delays. Hopping over to enable slow logging under the same slow log settings documentation we were previously looking at, you'll see that slow logs can be enabled at two levels. First is for all indices under the log4j configuration file. This is not the recommended method by Elastic. We recommend applying to the specific index in question, which brings me to the second level. On the specific index level, using the update indices settings API. This is what we'll be using in this video. So let's go ahead and hop over to the test deployment that I created for this. You can see it's an Elastic Cloud deployment. I'm already in my DevTools console and I've added my API commands already. So I'll be using the get index settings API as well as update indices settings API. These are pre-added, and on the update indices settings API, you can see that I've set my slow logs specific to searches, and my thresholds are all set to 0. This is a very low traffic deployment, so I've set all of my thresholds to 0. There are default settings in the slow log settings documentation that your team can reference to help set your settings for your specific use case. For this video, let's pretend I've noticed some mysterious searches on my slow ride index, and I want to be able to look into this further, but it's a bit intermittent and I can't always catch it live. The first thing I want to do is make sure that I don't already have slow logs enabled on this index. So I'm going to use my get index settings API for this. You'll see that the output is showing nothing. So let's go ahead and enable slow log settings on my trouble index. You can see I've added, it's showing acknowledge true. Let's just go ahead and make sure that this is actually successful. You'll see that it now shows the slow ride target index with the slow log threshold settings populating. In order to view this, we're going to be using Discover. You'll see that I'm in the Elastic Cloud Log data view. This data view is referencing the Elastic Cloud Logs specific to the monitoring indices, which the previous target index is outputting data to. So if you're enabling this on-prem, slow logs will admit files to the login directory, but if you're using Elasticsearch monitoring, like logs and metrics, which I am, these will ingest into the logging indices, which I have listed under my Elastic Cloud Log data view. The documentation specifically highlights filtering on file set name equals slow log. You can see I already have this filtered. So I'm going to go ahead and update my search and we'll be able to see the most recent slow log output. And this should give you a bunch of verbose information you've been searching for. You'll see that I've set specific columns already. So I've set the index column, Elasticsearch index name, Elasticsearch slow log source, and Elastic slow log took. This shows the slow ride target index that I've enabled slow logs against under the Elasticsearch index name. This target index is outputting the slow logs data to the Elastic Cloud Logs 9 data stream backing monitoring index, which is showing under the index column. Next, you'll be able to see the Elasticsearch query under the Elasticsearch slow log source column, as well as the Elasticsearch slow log took. This is going to show the response time of the query. There's also a bunch of other stuff that could be really helpful for your team. So once you get this set up, you can go ahead and go through the logging information to see if there's anything else that you would want to be able to highlight in your specific searches. Once you've gone through all of the information, you can go back to DevTools, and to unset slow logs, you can simply change all of the threshold settings to null. I'm going to go ahead and run that. Let's go ahead and check that this has been removed, and you'll see that now slow logs have been totally removed.